Yeah, I tried as best as I could to keep my emotions in check, especially walking up the last there and that reception. Yeah, look, it's been an awesome week. I've gotten everything I wanted out of this week apart from a claret jug, and that's just because one person was just a little bit better than the rest of us. But it's been an amazing week. I feel so thankful and just so lucky that I get to do this. I get to do this in front of this crowd. Hopefully I'll have one or two opens left here if the R&A decide to keep coming back. Probably one while I'm still competitive and one while I'm more grey than I already am. But it's been incredible to come back here and to play and at least feel like I had a chance today going out there. So yeah, just an awesome week.
Just both events here, Opens at Portrush, have been amazing sporting occasions. How hopeful are you that they can come back here very quickly? Yeah,
I think Portrush has quickly turned into one of the best 2 or 3 venues that the Open goes to. So, talk to every player this week and they won't say one single bad thing about the golf course. And then I just think the way it sets up, it's from a logistical standpoint, I think the R&A have worked so good with the local government to make sure everything runs smoothly. And I hope so. It's only been 6 years since 2019. I'm not sure Portrush is going to have the Open every 6 years. That would be nice, but I would obviously love it to keep coming back.
Have you ever tried so hard to just stay in the game when things weren't going great this week and ending up at tied 7th, but having a chance all the way right up to the back 9 on Sunday?
I feel like I try my hardest every time I play. So, I'm not going to try even harder here. If anything, that's probably to my detriment. But I felt like I did well. 8, 9, and 10 today were the ones that killed me. Not that I was never going to get to 17 under. I don't think so. I could have maybe finished second, which would have been better than where I did finish. But only making par off those tee shots on 8 and 9, and then the double on 10 after the flyer. That sort of that did me in, and then I just tried to play. A good back 9 and finish as well as I could.
Paulie, nice to see Rory filled with so much gratitude post-Masters. Yeah, that little bit of a funk, but however you slice it, just a memorable year for Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, memorable, absolutely. Look, he's a Grand Slam winner. It's a phenomenal year. And it was great to see him play this week with a smile on his face. That's what I enjoyed the most. And, he only finished 7 back, and he's a little bit down. I think we're all a little bit giddy about how well Scottie did. But, for the mistakes that Rory made, he's only 7 back, and we know he can drive the ball better. He was last in the driving accuracy category this week. So he's not a million miles off winning here, even though it sounded in the interview there like he was never going to beat Scottie. 7 shots, not that much, particularly when you're last in driving accuracy. But overall, a good week, and most importantly, he's back on the horse. The charismatic Rory is back, and his golf was great to watch too. I enjoyed watching him this week.
Yeah, he had a nice reset, really. If you look at his last 3 events, he's finished 6th, 2nd, and 7th. Not his best golf, but very good golf. And you're right. I think his attitude has changed, and he's more like the Rory that we know. He played very good in a lot of aspects this week. Very good, but very good is not good enough to beat Scottie Scheffler, who I would say probably didn't even play his best golf because he similarly didn't drive it particularly well this week by his standards, and still managed to win. So it was the odd wild tee shot and wild iron shot that ultimately kept Rory from having the momentum he needed.
That's right. The relentlessness of Scottie is the difference between the two.
You need to go quickly. You still think Rory could be Player of the Year? You don't. Go.
I think in 20 years' time, people remember this year as the 6th guy to complete the Grand Slam, and that, for me, is a big, big deal.
He's won 2 majors, just like Scottie, because you consider the Players a major.
I love how you just turned my argument back on me. You guys make compelling arguments. You really do. And I agree with you, and I said that the other night. In 50 years' time, they will be talking about what Rory did this year.
And the emotion of how he won it as well. it was such a seesaw battle, wasn't it? Will they remember this performance? They remember it for its clinicalness, but not the some of the highlights. Whereas the masses, we're all going to remember that.
I've lost any hope of convincing you, either one of you. But I'm just going to tell you, His year is miles better than Rory's.
We are romantics, Rich, me and
I understand.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, my wife's sitting over there. She'll tell you I'm a romantic. I'm just not buying y'all's BS.